Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sunday Wire. I'm Patrick Henningsen, your host. Let's bring in our teammates here from ACR. First on Hesher, Bryan McClain's joining us on the live link, host of the Boiler Room, all redacted, just like the Epstein files. Anything else that's important, he's got big, thick black line through. That's a protest right there.
We've been redacted, Patrick. We got so many redacted pages that Ruckus crafted up some great graphics for the Boiler Room we had the other night. We had enough redacted Epstein pages to build 2 Christmas trees and a pyramid. Yeah, that's right. We had a pyramid and 2 Christmas trees made out of redacted Epstein files. So, I mean, it's great. It's great to be here.
That's a masterpiece right there. I mean, that is that all Ruckus?
Yeah, hats off to Ruckus. We talked about it in the car before the show, and then he came up with this, and it was just fantastic.
That is an absolute Ruckus. That's an absolute masterpiece. Hats off.
I had one too. Maybe I can flash that on the screen. Mine was haunted by the ghost of Christmas past. However, Mr. Epstein himself. There it is. That was mine.
Let me put that full screen here. Look at there it is.
And then we also had a pyramid for Mystical Pharaoh because
a pyramid. So a redacted pyramid.
Yeah.
So that's quite a talented gymnastics move right there, combining 2 major conspiracies into one that quite frankly don't seem like they should go together, but yet you've done it. A pyramid. We'll have a look at that when you've got that live. Definitely will be interested in that one. Well done, guys. That's some Christmas spirit right there. That is, you haven't lost your touch.
Yeah, we bring the holiday spirit, I mean, I was going to dress up today, but I ended up showing up in full berserker regalia, so apologies about that. But there's the pyramid also.
Let me bring that full screen. Let's take a look at that. Look at that. And hidden in the warehouse. Wow. Yeah, that is a great creative effort. Again, the genius of Ruckus there.
Yeah.
My favorite touch was how we redacted the logo itself.
So I like Ruckus. You brought the Christmas spirit. Hesher, you brought the Christmas spirit. Ruckus, you really brought the Christmas spirit. You've got the room decked out, plus the Christmas sweater, which is dead smart, looking smart. So we appreciate it. I didn't even think about, because it's just too early for me to go Christmas. So I didn't bring it. I think we've got Basil coming in on the live link now. Mr. Valentine, there he is. Basil Valentine.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good to be with you.
Good evening to you as well.
Okay.
Do you like that Christmas tree that Hesher's got there? The redacted
That's
Christmas.
very smart. Well, I see. Yeah, very good. Very clever. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I saw somebody on X saying that the FBI had spent $1 million on redacting the Epstein files, and that constituted treason.
Really? Where's Elon and Doge? They got to audit that, $1 million. What happened to Doge? It's gone, isn't it? So,
yeah, it didn't last very long. Wasn't that extraordinary? Susie Wiles saying that Elon is a ketamine user. I mean, in England, a regular user of ketamine is generally not acceptable in any kind of polite society.
Unless you're in government.
Ketamine and brew crew indicates people who are addicted to cans of Stella and that drug that forces you into an out-of-body experience, you down.
It's a horse tranquilizer, isn't it?
So-called K-hole, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, the guy is getting paid $1 trillion. He must be the juxtaposition of being a K-head and taking a salary of $1 trillion is mind-boggling. Frankly, I can't compute it. Do you know what I mean?
I'm waiting for that.
We all ought to do more K. Let's get on the K, guys. That's where we're lacking. We need more. We need more business imagination, and we will get it courtesy of the inspiration provided by ketamine.
Yeah, Yeah. You know, there was the guys in South Park were clowning on the K users. They did a whole episode where Stan's dad, who was running a pot farm, colluded with Towley, the government towel, smart towel, and they decided they were going to make a new company, and that they could not make a new company successful unless they were microdosing ketamine. So through the whole episode, it just shows them trying to run this company while like spraying this stuff up their noses the whole time, and watching their business and their lives totally fall apart. So yeah, it is kind of weird, Basil, that it's weird that a company can make as much money as like the DOD can pull in, right? Like the entire government, they just signed the NDAA, almost $1 trillion, over $1 trillion when you add the taxes and all that. It's like the entire, basically, Pentagon, a government, and the military, like they have the same salary as Elon Musk. I mean, it's not really a salary, but you know what I mean. It's the same amount of money.
I mean, you know, the sums of money that governments deal in these days are dwarfed by the sums of money that, I mean, it is only a tiny handful. Let's say the richest 10 people in the world deal with. The UK government worried about a £34 billion black hole in finances, which means cuts to social services, pensioners going cold, this, that, and the other, winter fuel payments reduced. And Musk would sneeze $34 billion and not even notice it. Now, that wasn't the case 20, 30, 40 years ago. We had millionaires, and you had some people who even had hundreds of millions of pounds. But, very possibly. But, the sums that governments dealt in still dwarfed those accessible to private individuals. And that's been not only flipped, but, flipped in a tremendously exaggerated way. And of course, governments refuse to tax these people. Even in Britain, everybody talking about this socialist government. I mean, it's utter nonsense. The Starmer government is anything but socialist. It's neoliberal and authoritarian and warmongering and insane. It certainly isn't socialist. They refuse to introduce a wealth tax. They'd rather cut public services, cut pensions, cut anything but a wealth tax. The result of which is that wealth distribution is now more skewed than it was in Georgian or Victorian times, before we even conceived of the idea of a progressive taxation system.
Well, I would argue, I don't want to get into the taxation debate too deep, but I would argue that because governments now favor monopolies, because monopolies spend more money lobbying governments, this is also a reason why the wealth gap is just going crazy, because we are in the age of monopolies right now, which is pretty scary. This is the comment so far. Best of show today, Danielle Bausch. Wag the Doge.
Very good.
That's clever. Someone says, invite Norm Finkelstein on this program. He would never come. He definitely wouldn't come. I'd be surprised. I don't think so. It's not going to happen. No, not this program. We might be able to get him on a sit down in New York or something like that. I'm working on it, but definitely not this program here. Excellent virtual backgrounds, of course. This is what we do. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, guys, have you had a chance? Do you have any comments on what I was talking about in the monologue? These EU sanctions from the European Commission, of all places. A completely undemocratic branch of the EU, as if there's any democratic branch of the EU. This is just like the high office sanctioning independent media, journalists and commentators, and people who are ex-NATO intelligence giving their own independent assessment on Ukraine. Debanked, frozen assets, can't fly, cannot board if they're in Africa or if they're outside the EU. The airlines cannot allow them to board under pressure from the EU. So this is complete, and it's for life. They'll never lift the sanctions because
you're kidding.
Yes, because Russia's not going to lose. So these are going to be lifetime sanctions. It's incredible. I mean, I'll bring the directive here up on screen so you guys can see it. But I mean, look at this. Let's bring this up on screen here. Russian hybrid threats, they're calling it. And this is, we all know him. One of the best commentators on the web, Jacques Bau, ex-Swiss intelligence, worked with NATO. That guy. He's been depersoned. They basically taking away all their rights, destroying their life. And the list is long. And there's also people on this list we've interviewed, by the way. This is what they're running these lists up in Brussels after they've lost. I mean, clearly this is, what do you guys think?
Well, I'm not going to say anything, otherwise I won't be able to travel to France.
I know.
I think this is great. I think this is great, Patrick. I really do.
Yeah, this is a good move. They should do more of this. That'll really fix the world.
Yeah, they need to sanction more of these independent journalists and podcasters.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with Basil. Yeah. We need just like, I don't know, these people need to be silenced.
That's right.
How dare they have an opinion that's different from the Times or Der Spiegel or NATO headquarters, for that matter? I mean, these people are trouble. They need to be silenced.
How many were there, Patrick?
There were 12 in this round, but we know 2 in the previous couple of rounds.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? Remember when the media went on a massive smear campaign against the Dirty Dozen, the doctors and all that?
Oh, yeah. For COVID, during the COVID. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same thing.
Same kind of, it's exactly same kind of player there. But
so whenever there's a crisis,
I don't know how this is going to fly, though. We'll see.
So whenever there's a crisis, you get the Democratic West, they fold on their democratic principles whenever there's a so-called emergency, and they go immediately to restrict rights of speech immediately, like clockwork. I thought these rights were precisely for times of crisis in the so-called liberal democratic West. This is utter failure of this liberal democracy promise of, enlightened Europe and America and Canada. They folded during COVID, shut it all down, attacked people, and they're doing it again because they're losing their war in Ukraine. They lost the vaccine war. No one's taking vaccines. The vaccine uptake is cratered. But they were enforcing, they were canceling, they were grounding people, they were depersoning them for speaking out against an experimental injection, which is now discredited.
Patrick, go and have your booster.
So, your 3rd or 4th booster. And they're doing it again. And these people won't stop. They don't have any principles. They're inconsistent. They're hypocrites. If you want to be Stalin, come out and just own it. Put the cap on. Show your true colors. If you want to be a Nazi if you're in government. But at least be honest about who you are and what you're doing. That's what I think. I think they need to come out of the closet.
They think that they can make the public follow the bouncing ball of narrative, right? It seems as though, I don't know, I seem to be at a point where it's like, it feels like everything is, emperor wears no clothes. Everything is right in our faces. And it is more so than ever. But at the same time, they still seem to, those that, manage narratives, create narratives, foster psychological operations, put money into organizations that do this for a living, etc. It's almost like they think everybody's so stupid that they can't remember what happened in 2020 and 2021. They can't remember what happened, in 2001. They can't remember what happened, just even a few weeks ago. So it's like they just change the narrative. They distort everything, bring new narratives, distort those ones, and then flip back to the old ones, and they can just contradict everything that was said, the first time through. And they seriously seem to think that they can just like drag us through this like a cybernetic feedback loop of lies, where we'll have no combined or long-term memory of the lies that had already been exposed. Like this thing with Russia, for example. It's like, how can a country do this to journalists after the other superpower went through what, 4 years of a psychological operation about the whole urine gate thing with Donald Trump and the whole Steele dossier, all proven to be false, right? That was a false narrative that drove politics, that drove legislation, that cost us bazillions of dollars and tons of like focus attention on that, and it was fake. It was patently fake. We know who paid for it. We know who wrote it. We know who promoted it. We know who lied about it for years and years on end. And now there's just this, oh, well, we'll just forget all that ever happened, and we'll make up this new Russian hybrid fake term for a guy like that. It's insane.
Yep, hybrid threats. It's all about the hybrid threats. So let me let's take a look at their report on this. Hold on for a minute. Let's get that up on screen. Yeah, the trouble is a lot of people are that stupid, unfortunately. That's a fair comment there.
Right. They wouldn't continue to do it if people weren't so stupid that it actually worked. So there's that.
There's that. Yeah, there is that. So here's the report. This is from Euronews. So just understand the source, folks. Obviously, you need to. So there's Jacques Baud on the front. Now, this guy I've met, John Mark Dugan. He's in Moscow. He's American, supposedly sheriff's deputy from Palm Beach or Brevard or something, Florida. Ends up in Moscow. He was actually pushing a lot of fake news, quite frankly, on some very questionable websites. But that's not a crime in itself. It's just bad propaganda. And Xavier Moreau, who is a top analyst and author who's French. So this has come from the French government and is rubber stamped by Brussels. So they definitely got an axe to grind for anybody in the French sort of environment on this. But let's see if we can get this report. Oh, we got the nondescript ad here. Let me just wait for this ridiculous thing.
Who are the Russian propagandists sanctioned by the EU? How can you clamp down on propagandists? Well, according to the European Union, with sanctions. On the 15th of December, 12 people were handed sanctions for participating in pro-Kremlin foreign manipulation and interference operations. 3 of them are Westerners with close ties to Moscow, who participate in pro-Russian disinformation campaigns. John Mark Dugan, an American who acquired dual Russian nationality. A former deputy sheriff from Florida, he has been pushing the copycat network of sham news websites. This operation mimics legitimate European and American news organizations through fake outlets, inserting propaganda narratives into videos and articles which are often produced with the help of AI. Xavier Moreau, a French citizen with Russian nationality. The former military officer spreads pro-Kremlin propaganda through his blog. He also appears as a commentator in Russian and fringe French media.
No, let me just stop you there, guys. Okay, she's calling them Russian propagandists. As far as I know, Jacques Baud has never been to Russia, doesn't go on Russian outlets, so that's defamation and libel right there. So he could sue Euronews for this report. I mean, they're doing propaganda, Euronews. I mean, what they're doing is just ridiculous propaganda, and they're calling Xavier Moreau a propagandist. If you want to, technically, everyone does propaganda. If you want to drill down to the definition, everybody has a bias. Everybody, from the BBC to CNN to us, there is nobody that does not have a bias. If you want to be completely objective and honest, why? That's human nature. But they're spinning it on them because they don't like what they're saying. Now she's going to talk about Jacques Baud here. Let's see what they say.
Or a former Swiss intelligence officer turned propagandist and also a media commentator.
That is just defamatory. Swiss intelligence officer turned propagandist. So this child, I don't know what country she's from. By the looks of it, I would say possibly Latvia, Lithuania, or Estonia. and she's basically libeling and defaming professionals, veteran analysts, and people like this, best-selling authors. Okay, this kid. So the Euronews has found her. She could be the next Mariana Spring. Who knows?
Spoke to Hervé Le Toqueux from Check First, a company which tracks disinformation about their profiles.
On a aujourd'hui des profils comme Xavier Moreau, on a des profils comme John Morgan, qui sont des gens qui ont été, qui représentent une certaine forme de patriotisme.
So they can't prove that anything Jacques Bao said is disinformation. I mean, this guy is judicious, and in terms of his factual reporting, he's a top-ranking intelligence official from Europe, NATO. He's not going to put any garbage out, and he doesn't. But they're calling it disinformation. That's just completely. This is propaganda. This is European propaganda here, and they've got this French talking head here tracking the disinformation. I mean, what a racket! What a grift! This disinformation, but we know it. We know it because we've been reporting on this since the beginning of Russiagate. But
des anciens militaires, des anciens personnes impliquées dans les services de renseignement, un ancien shérif, par exemple.
Now, Dugan, John Mark Dugan, they could have an argument that, you know, he's running mirrored websites, putting out fake news and AI slop. Okay, fine, you can make that argument. Is it a crime? Who knows? I mean, if they're going to make it a crime, well, they're going to make it a crime. But to lump him in, say they bracketed what he's doing, which is dodgy, okay, but they're bracketing that with Xavier Moreau, who's a respectable author, top analyst, brilliant guy, and Jacques Bao. So, I mean, I'll just leave it there. But it's incredible once they get their teeth into this. But we've seen this from Russiagate, the war on disinformation, the war on fake news. Hillary's pushing this stuff out from 2015, 2016. So it's nothing new. They've just revisited this, and they found a new way to kind of operationalize this now. But while they're losing the war, basically. I don't know. This is just insane. But it's, you know, they want to ruin these people's lives for having a different take on what is clearly a proxy war that's bankrupting Europe. I mean, come on. And you're going to attack people for pointing it out that Ukraine is getting hammered on the battlefield and NATO is blowing ungodly sums of money, and there's hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian men getting killed in a losing effort, and Europe's cheering it on. And if we point that out, that's Russian disinformation. Really?
Yeah, I think we need to take your passport away, Patrick.
I mean, I think back to when
my
you
cold
got
dead hand, Mr. Valentine.
Right? Like, remember when the whole Kate Starbird thing happened, and a whole bunch of people here in the United States got attacked online and were put on, you know.
I was first.
You were on the list, man.
I was her beta. I was the beta.
Yep.
I was the first sacrificial lamb.
Right. And it was like
she went for me personally. Personally, yep. She went for me.
After Google went for you. So it was like Google went for you. They started chipping away at your ability to monetize. Then they chipped away. They removed your ability to even come up in searches, basically. And then money started flowing into universities. For those that were not with us when this happened, this was back in late 2016, early
2017. Yeah.
17. By the fall of 17, it was in full swing, and we were on heat maps, 21 Wire, and other of our colleagues were on heat maps that had been generated by D-bag college students at whatever college Kate Starbird worked at.
University of Washington.
University of Washington.
Yeah. In where is it? Just up north of Seattle there, the big campus, the big one, UW.
Yep. Whitebird knows. He'll tell me in the chat exactly where it's at. But that was crazy. And I think about that and like how detrimental that was to the business, to the SEO. Like, people don't understand, like, you know, you're talking at the beginning of the show, how many years this has been going on. And there are like many years of work that have gone into certain phases of 21 Wire, alternate current radio, various things that our colleagues are doing that were very focused and built up a very, a nest egg basically on a piece of social media or on the internet somewhere, and they're gone now. We've lost them. They're gone. Like that, our ability to do X, Y, and Z are no longer there, and we lost all those years of work and all the audience we brought there and had to refocus. And we do this over and over and over again. It's like a shell game, and what I'm seeing here from this story, Pat, is it is escalated. The model is just growing of targeting journalists, targeting analysts, people, intellectual people that are, especially if they're anti-war and anti-globalist or anti-Zionist, like all bad words. You can be anti-Russian. That's fine. We love that. You come right in. But, this is an escalation to the point of depersoning, like you're saying. And we've seen that happen to people here in the United States, like Dustin Stockton, Jennifer Lawrence, other people, the people that they worked with, put in prison for building part of a wall. So, this is a pretty bad escalation as it pertains to journalism, free speech, punditry, analysis, all that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's nothing new. We've seen this before, but it's this sanctimonious European entitlement that somehow that they're the bastions and guardians of democracy. There's nothing democratic about the European Union. It's in fact antithetical to democracy. The MEPs who sit in the European Parliament, they have zero power in terms of like they get to do a sort of straw man rubber stamp vote on stuff that's already been decided coming out of von der Leyen's star chamber up there. They have no power. All they can do is sit there and rant on the floor of the European Parliament. So they have the power of the platform. That's it. They don't have any democratic. There's no legislative democratic machinery with the European Parliament.
Well, they get to vote for the president of the commission. Believe it or not, they voted for von der Leyen. But that's because of the sort of default to centrism that people mistake for maintaining the status quo. That's the way I would describe it. You end up with a sort of center-right as the largest single grouping, a neoliberal warmongering grouping that people in very low turnouts in European Union countries have voted for. And you can make a strong case that any sort of voting block of what is in Europe, 400 or 500 million people, is sort of automatically invalid because of its sheer size, and therefore, power should be decentralized. But leaving that on one side, the so-called Christian Democrats get a large block because people think, if I vote for the centrist parties, things will stay the same. There won't be too much rocking of the boat. I don't want far left. I don't want far right. So you end up with these Christian Democrats who are, in fact, likewise, a lot of the fake left, the Starmerite left. And these people are, in fact, neoliberal authoritarians and warmongers. They masquerade as centrists, but in fact, they are anything but. They're extremists. This is an extremist position to start depersoning people. This is, as you said at the top, Patrick, Soviet-esque in the way it's being implemented. I mean, even if people are saying things that might or might not be provable or whatever, well, you can always ignore them. That's the thing. What actual real world harm are they doing? Well, according to the European Union, then they have to be silenced because quite simply they are influencing public opinion in a way that they don't approve of. Nobody's going to die because of what these people say. They haven't committed people to illegal wars that are going to see them killed or mutilated. They're not supporting, not that I know of, they're not avid supporters of genocide, unlike Europe's leaders. So, the problem is that we've got a European governing elite headed by that dreadful creature at the top in the middle, von der Leyen. Merz is, abysmal. I mean, of all the people who could have been made German chancellor, he's about the worst candidate imaginable. Fervent genocide supporter, desperate warmonger, crashing the German economy in order to ramp up war spending. I won't even call it defense. Bottom right there, you've got the wholly unqualified Kaya Kallas. I mean, what she's doing in a senior position. These people are selected years in advance, and then the pathway to one of the top jobs is smooth, and they are massaged into position because they can be relied upon to say the right thing. Simple as that. They are part of the groupthink.
I mean, she's really thick. I mean, she's about probably the lowest IQ on there. I mean, and then Stubbies, the new Finnish guy, and you just look at the Nazi alliances during the Second World War and the Baltics, Finland and Ukraine, and it's just like they're trying to recreate the map of the Second World War. I mean, it's just like, I thought the Germans lost. I mean, did they? Did the Nazis lose?
Well, this is it. A lot of people talk about the Fourth Reich. Get Tony Gosling on. It's his favorite topic. You know?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He's
not shy. He's not shy on this one.
There is that mysterious, if you look at the shading on the NATO symbol, there is that mysterious swastika in the middle of it,
Oh yeah, if you yeah, I see that.
If you just look at the dark portion,
it's a crypto swastika, isn't it?
It's a crypto swastika, isn't it? But I mean, it's and yes, people say that the whole European Union project, which was incidentally backed by Mosley after the war and his union movement after the defeat of Nazism, Britain's most famous fascist, Sir Oswald Mosley, through his weight behind the European Union. And you can, quite legitimately claim that any supranational institution of that size is fundamentally undemocratic. And the thing simply shouldn't exist. There should be a much looser collaborationist organization between member states dealing with trade, perhaps borders. But oh no, we've got to have this super state, this endless mission creep towards the central government with dictatorial powers and soon an army. And if you don't like it, then you're depersoned or worse. Nobody ever voted for it. The original referendum in Britain, 1975, was about whether Britain should remain in the European Economic Community, the common market that enabled goods to be traded between countries without tariffs. We're a million miles away from that now.
Yeah, now we got the poly market. Betting on politics. Total scam. Ruckus, Gladio, and Paperclip designed to make sure the fascists didn't lose. Is that historically accurate?
Well, I mean, if you were a well-read individual and do your history and do some research and you go down that rabbit hole, yes, I believe so. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spout any conspiracy theories because allegedly that was one of the egregious things that Mr. Boud did to get himself sanctioned by the EU. By the way, the conspiracy theory he's being accused of spreading is claims that that Ukraine allegedly orchestrated its own invasion in order to join NATO. Thank God nobody on this program has ever said anything like that.
Hold on on that, Ruckus. They're accusing him of that, right? And but he is quoting during that podcast. He's actually, or in his book, he's quoting Alexei Arestovich, Zelensky's chief advisor, who said that in an interview 5 years ago, or whatever, that this would be great if we could do this. We could get Russia to, we could bait Russia, and that would bring NATO in and fast track our membership. So Jock Bow is quoting Arestovich. The EU is attributing that him quoting to him, Jacques Boud, and not the source of the quote, which is Zelensky's chief advisor. I mean, so it's just fraud. These people,
open and shut case, Patrick. What are you talking about?
It's unbelievable. Like Hesher, if you did that in academia, you get an F on your paper, but government can do this. misattribute quotations. I mean, this is you guys, this is like a Stalin kangaroo court, basically. Again, the EU Soviet. You repeated somebody's words that are wrong-think, even though they're their words. You attributed the quote, but we're gonna send you down for saying it.
It's crazy. Amatovich Nas in the chat earlier said, hey, at 2121, I read Baud's books. He never used Russian source material in his book. All the sources he used are Western sources. So you can even so they have to go in, they have to cherry pick something out of a podcast from an author. Okay, think about that for a minute, my friends. This man wrote a book, all right, and the book is properly sourced, even according to these, sanctions. So they're lying about the sanctions. They're having to cherry pick from a podcast and then pretend that the source he used was Russian when it was, again, it was Ukrainian in that case.
Right. So, no
but
rules.
Remember, Kaja Kallas is the great expert on European affairs, particularly the Second World War. She claimed that it was new to her that China and Russia are amongst the victors who defeated Nazism and fascism. I mean, what? This is just the most basic. I mean,
you know what? And
he's been bragging about the fact she managed to get countries not to meet with Russian diplomats. So Europe's so-called top diplomat is not interested in diplomacy.
So they came to the so-called peace talks planning for war. I mean, these people are just beyond reform, I think, at this point. Like there's no saving this lot. It's like, okay, you guys remember your history class? Do you remember you remember junior high and high school, World War I? Let's start there. What were the great lessons that were drilled into our heads about World War I? Was entangling alliances, right? That was one of the big tripwires that caused World War I, and that's to be avoided at all costs. That's a lesson of history right there. The other one is that war should not be inevitable, that diplomacy should happen to ameliorate the drive to war through multilateral institutions, which were created after World War II, right? That's the other. They didn't have that before the First World War, which was a cause for the First World War. Two big lessons. Look at what's happening now. So if that's a failure at this point, that means the entirety of Western academia, education, politics of the last 100 years is a complete, abysmal, total failure. And Europe is a failure. If those were the lessons of the great wars, both wars, and they're repeating it now, and not only repeating it, but doing it with zeal, I would say that Western European civilization is a complete failure. It really, that's the only way.
It's been hijacked by these people. That's the thing. It's been hijacked by a coterie, an elite, a cadre, a junta, call it what you like, which has accelerated in the last 25 or 30 years. I mean, if you look back to the days when Thatcher, who I couldn't stand, was doing battle with Francois Mitterrand, there was nevertheless at least sort of a genuine dialectic going on there. Europe was much smaller. Believe it or not, I can remember when countries like Spain and Sweden weren't even in the European Union. And, gradually with the euro and then increasing focus on foreign policy and a greater homogenization of viewpoints, if you like, the groupthink, which is one of the reasons why Britain voted to leave the European Union. Really, it was Maastricht, the Treaty of Maastricht, that turned it from being an economic cooperation organization into a superstate. And that was when, and then you had, Giscard d'Estaing's new constitution, which was rejected by the Irish, amongst others, and they just ploughed on with it anyway. They didn't care. And that was the time when Britain should have left. That was the beginning of the superstate. But then in the last 25 years, it seems to have been taken over by this appalling junta, of which von der Leyen and Callas are two heads of the Hydra. I'm not quite sure where it originates, this particular, it's ultra-Zionist, they projected the Israeli flag all over the European Commission headquarters building on October the 8th or whatever. It's deeply anti-Russian, warmongering. It's, wants to, it seems it wants to destroy as much of traditional Europe, as it were, as it can, which is why it's come into conflict with Hungary and Poland in particular.
Here's a comment. Here's a comment here about as democratic as an Amazon fulfillment center. You're talking about being employed at an Amazon
employee. Yes,
it's not pleasant apparently in terms of like employee feedback. They track you with facial recognition if you work in those Amazon. You guys know about this. So they're tracking time on the floor, bathroom breaks, whether you're wearing the proper hard hat or whatever. It's all AI. They've got AI running everything. So that's the EU. That's the EU corporate model, as it were.
Panopticon.
Panopticon, yes. Jeremy Bentham, is that the Panopticon? The British philosopher Jeremy Bentham, I think. Was that his?
So.
Yeah, Bentham. The Nazis were destroyed by Russia, but NATO rebirthed them in 1946. Actually,
that's about right.
Not 46, in 53. Actually, but yes, that's correct. You got the year off a little bit. Fair assessment. So EU Soviet, Basil. Actually, let me go to Ruckus. So Ruckus, the European Union, fundamentally undemocratic, anti-democratic, and they're now sanctioning people for disagreeing with their narrative. Is this not a Soviet system?
Well, yeah, and also I'm scrambling, still trying to figure out where's the official information from the EU itself about this. There might be one or two reports out there, or the media reporting about it, which, the ultimate gatekeepers of the information. It just seems to me, Patrick, that ultimately the EU itself is engaging in warfare, fifth generational warfare, of course, informational warfare. And I see, in particular with the case of Dowd, that this has nothing to do with the war. This is about the control of information. They are clearly this is a censorship move. The sanctions are just like a tool, that they're using because they got nothing else, I guess. So I don't know. And I don't know much, I'm not that entwined with the European affairs with the EU and all that stuff. But I'm like,
here's the European Council.
If I lived
from the
anywhere,
Council. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. If I lived anywhere in a country that was part of the European Union, I'm sure I would be screaming to get the F out and wondering why are we in this? I'm that kind of guy. So I don't know how they got there, how they can get themselves out. Obviously, there's voting, and it would appear as in most cases they don't seem to care what the people think or say, and they just do their own thing at behest of their own personal, reasons, their motivations, and or for the benefit of foreign powers. Or other special interests. It's the same thing, but here it is, an unelected body of rulers allegedly over other unelected rulers of sorts,
No due process, no evidence. They just said, oh, you're disinformation. You can't appeal it. I mean, again, this would have to be challenged in the courts of the individual legislatures of the individual states like Germany or France or wherever you're at. And then it's a violation of your European human rights, basically. So it's against the European Human Rights Convention.
And the punishment too is far worse than most people would assume, because they'll be like, oh well, they didn't arrest him and throw him in prison. Well, no, but these things ruin these people's lives like for eternity.
It's worse than prison. It's worse than getting a criminal. But this would never hold up in any criminal court. You see, again, it's the Soviet kangaroo court. This is a comment that I just love, and I'm grateful. YouTube actually brought me here. It's been a long time since it recommended something good, you guys. This is good. I'm happy to see this comment. Thank you, old man Barker _ Barker. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that means we're actually getting some love. The algo love.
Did we hit the wave? Are we like bodyboarding body surfing the algorithm a little this week? Maybe
that's it. It could be. Is it maybe? Could be Basil's presence could have triggered the algorithm.
Yeah.
Because Basil came right out and said he supports these sanctions. I mean, immediately, boom, we get the traffic.
YouTube is doing a steak and lobster moment on us, Patrick. They're being nice to us because they're about to cancel everybody.
Basil, we're going to have you on as the token heterodox, anti-alternative media narrative purveyor, basically. We need a mainstream. You're that token mainstream voice.
Okay. I'll bear that in mind.
Say it again. You want to sanction as many of these people as possible.
Including you.
Including me. My inquisitor, Mr. Valentine.
We should self-sanction. That'll be the next move, right? Download an app.
That's right.
Can we all let's just do that now. Just YouTube, are you listening? We are self-sanctioning ourselves for wrong think, and we apologize for going against the narrative. We love NATO, and we support all of the NATO directives, and we think the mainstream media is beyond question, beyond reproach. All mainstream media, especially the BBC, Der Spiegel, Deutsche Welt, and CNN.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, though, satire may be all that's left to us in the near future. Fascists hate being satirized because they can't take a joke. And that's, it will be a litmus test, really, when you start getting sanctioned for taking the pee out of people and taking the mickey. Then we'll know we are in the final stages of the dystopia.
Hold on, a quick Yiddish IQ test. How do you pronounce this word? CHUTZPUH. Anybody?
Chutzpah. Yeah.
Hawking sound. You need the
it sort of means cheek. The sheer cheek. That's cheek. What it means. Yeah.
Why the chutzpah of your statement?
Brazen audacity.
That's right. That's right. Okay. What else we got here? Basil is the man. That's right. That's right. He is our token heterodox pundit for today, helping us with YouTube. Thank you, Basil. We so much appreciate it. All power to the fact checkers. We're all about the fact checkers here on the Sunday Wire. Isn't that right, Ruckus?
Yes, absolutely.
We support them and the careers. We hope that they'll have lucrative careers as fact checkers and disinformation experts, because the world needs more of those. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yes.
Generally, I disagree, but under the Trump 2.0, I'm the other way around. Look at the
love coming in. Look at the love flooding in here in the comments. Thanks for your ongoing support for NATO, Patrick, and calling out all the. I mean, the love is just flowing. You see how good we're doing on YouTube right now. Keep the comments coming, you guys. This is working. This is working. I feel the wave of love here coming. Doesn't that mainstream love feel good, you guys? Do you feel that?
I think
feeling that
if the four of us go and
love.
If the four of us go and we repost the most recent 10 posts from BBC and Der Spiegel, we're really gonna hit the algorithm. I mean, the wave's gonna get big.
Thank you, TG Wilson. Thank you so much. Keep that love coming, you guys. Keep that. Look at this. Mainstream is totally not lame or fake or gay.
Right.
Yes, long time listener. You're so right. Keep that love coming. Oh, I love it. You guys are amazing. Amazing. There's more of this coming, you guys. There's so much this love coming through here. Hold on, let me find a good one. 1 second here. Let me see. Is there any more mainstream love? Oh, look at this.
There we go.
Long live mainstream. Thank you so much, Amatovich Nas. Thank you. Oh, here, Basil, you're my favorite Zionists. Look at that. I love the PFP, by the way. Look at that dog. He's having a good time. Look at the tongue. That's Hollywood
right there.
It's right at the foot of the Hollywood Hills.
All right, everyone, drop a 1 in the chat if you're getting a booster today after the show. Let us know.
Oh, you want some vaccine love? Okay, pro-vax guys, give us some pro-vax love as well. Oh, look at this, Hesher, Basil, Barry Weiss rocks.
Yeah,
this should get us at the top of YouTube algorithm. Keep these comments coming, folks. This is just beautiful. Oh, Ruckus, look at this. 10x boosters.
There we go.
That's a good citizen right there.
What about our homies on
Bricks 5? You're a good citizen. You're a good person.
Oh yeah. What about our homies on X? Let's give Elon some love. Who wants a Neuralink? Raise your hand if you want a I want one. Can I get a Neuralink this week?
I want one. Yeah.
Does it come with a side order of ketamine?
Yes.
It does, and you get pro-Zionist messaging like pumped straight into your brain,
right into the core.
Amazing.
Stop it.
Yeah. Oh, you guys, this is going to help us on the algorithm right here. This comment, look at that.
Ooh,
BB is the Messiah. You guys are going a little bit far. I think this gag is going a little bit too far, actually.
Yeah,
it must be working. We got another one. Marcus Fine is brand new. YouTube recommendation.
Look at that.
Nice.
Oh, good. Hey, if you're a random coming in on a YouTube recommendation, make yourself known, please. And we're just trying to. What we're doing is We're pumping the algo with mainstream love, the AI, so that it will give us a higher position on the referrals on YouTube, because that's kind of how the system works. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Basil, look at that.
Stop it.
Very good. Very good.
That's just beautiful.
Oh my God. I'm tearing up.
That's Anno Mandarake 96, Rabbi Valentine. Is that Valentine or Valentine?
I always get confused.
Either. I don't
technically it's Valentine, because the E before the I is pronounced I. Because the Epstein should be Epstein, not Jeffrey Epstein, should be Epstein. They've reversed it. It's a little bit of a trick. People didn't get that bit. That's right. So is anybody in favor of burning books? Just make yourself known, because I think YouTube would like that.
Oh yeah.
I got one. Burners.
I got one to suggest, Pat.
Pro book burning. Anybody?
Yeah. Here you go. This would be a good one to burn, considering today's show. Your question about
Rise of the Fourth Reich. Yeah, Jim Mars, burn it. Just burn it. It's conspiracy theory.
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely don't want anyone reading that.
Russell doesn't like that. Definitely not.
Oh.
Look at this. Oh, this is good here. This is good stuff. Right there, you guys. Wolfgang Felix. Save humanity from the book worshippers. That's right. Light it up.
Why do they got to be book worshippers? Why can't they just go watch Netflix?
Basil, this one for you from Photon. Right there. Tony Blair was right.
He's right. He's right about everything. He is the fountain of all knowledge, wisdom, and truth. He is another good candidate for the Messiah.
Oh, this is good right here.
I will not hear a word against him.
Look at this. I can't wait to live life in a smart city. Oh, this is beautiful.
That's
so
right.
much. That's green love coming in. W. Klaus Schwabian love coming in here in the pipeline. It's going to help us. Reading books is stupid. This is the audience we need, right? We're going to do really well on YouTube, you guys. I think I'm feeling this. I'm so feeling this. Any love for Peter Thiel? Technocracy? Anybody? Elon love for driverless cars and 100 baby mamas?
Oh, did you hear about the driverless car thing that happened in San Francisco last night, dude?
No.
Last night, San Francisco lost power at a power station. There was a fire at a power station, and immediately 130,000 people, everything north of Market Street, turned off. And they have all these Waymo cars, these driverless cars that drive around the city. And when the power went off, all the cars stopped. No stoplights. Nobody knows how to do four-way stops without the lights. And there's these broken Waymo cars all over the place. San Francisco, what a mess last night, man. I don't know what the status is this morning, but at 4 a.m., it was not good.
That's terrible. I feel triggered. Do you guys feel uncomfortable with that news?
I think we probably shouldn't say that. We should probably say Waymo is the best company and Pacific Gas and Electric is also the best company. Good luck, guys.
And you should pull over to the side and allow the Waymos the right of way whenever you see them, because they're more important.
They're all over the place. They're stuck in intersections. They're on crosswalks. It's hilarious.
Well, nobody wants these second-hand electric cars, do they? That's the thing. They're sort of like
some lurid comments are coming in directed at the Rabbi Valentine. Does Rabbi Valentine own a porn site?
I wish.
The money. But it's very lucrative.
We'll take it into consideration.
Those websites. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Patrick is my fave out of Daniel Davis, and Nima. Yeah, I'm on those great podcasts. Nima, Dialogue Works, Daniel Davis. Those are all top G's. Top G's. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Oh, what else? Save the Talmud. Save the Talmud. You guys are getting a little bit obvious here. Okay, let me see what else we got here.
Before I go, I just want to highlight the
another Stein
interference group in the UK Parliament. I don't know if you're aware of this.
Oh, why? Okay, go ahead.
A new all-parliamentary group on defending democracy. I mean, this is very much an overlap with the European Union sanctions. And guess what? Chief amongst the parliamentarians, co-chair, is John Woodcock, who now styles himself as Lord Walney, who has long since lobbied for the interests of the Zionist apartheid state. He's been to Israel a number of times. So there's a lot of people are saying, well, if we're going to have a UK parliamentary working group looking into foreign influence in British politics, then it has to look at Israel's outsized influence. And indeed, we've got, after Bondi last week, we've got the Metropolitan Police taking it upon themselves to outlaw various words that the lobby don't like. Chief amongst them, of course, is the word intifada, which means shaking off.
That's right.
And can also be interpreted as uprising. I don't know whether the English translation will also be banned. A lot of people have been pointing out not only the stupidity of this, but also the fact that it's, well, it isn't up to the police to decide arbitrarily because of events on the other side of the world and pressure from a particular lobby group, that they're going to suddenly start arresting people for saying a word. But that's what's happened. A couple of people have been saying that, and in particular the phrase globalize the
intifada. Yeah, and well, in Arabic it means shaking the blanket to get the dust off. Like
that's right.
That's what it means. And it's the intifadas can be nonviolent. You know,
that's right.
They can be peaceful, non-violent. Well, Palestinians tried that with the Great March Return.
They tried everything. You know, tried negotiation, tried peaceful resistance, tried BDS. You name it.
So the state's just making up, is deciding what definitions of words are, rather than the actual definitions of the words. Basically,
it would appear to be the Metropolitan Police Commissioner under the influence of the Home Office and, let's just say, other groupings. Be very careful what we say in Britain.
Another grouping. I couldn't. I was trying to think of who they were, Basil, but I couldn't find the name for love nor money.
Be careful.
Oy vey. Back-to-back award-winning comments. Ruckus. I want to own nothing and be happy. That's Lemon 8. How can you top that? But yet you can. Look at this. The Dulles brothers were so cool, says Kurt Boss. Yes. You guys are really helping us with our YouTube algorithm. This is the support we get from our listeners. So, these guys are committed.
Does YouTube actually nowadays run AI on live streams like this too?
They've been running AI, well, what they call AI, which is large language learning models, forever. They've been doing the algorithms, AI run, voice recognition, all that. It's been doing it for years. It's just that now it's becoming increasingly automated.
So in real time, we are being listened to by the AI.
Yeah,
and
it's making a determination about how
making a determination. Yeah,
whether we're good people or shit.
Well, I think
people,
Israel
as
is
Jack
great.
Dorsey would say. Yeah,
I really
Israel's
do.
great. I mean, yeah, Israel is it's
a beacon of democracy in a tough neighborhood.
It's the fountainhead of democracy and all good things in the Middle East.
And our greatest ally.
Sure. Our greatest friend and ally, and it will always be so, as Nancy Pelosi say. Nancy Pelosi says Washington D.C. can burn to the ground, but Israel will still be our greatest ally and friend. Right. Even after the Capitol burns to the ground, she said. I can't believe she said that.
That's a very normal thing to say, right? I mean,
oh yeah. I mean, I wonder what your take is on Tucker at Turning Point at the big America Fest this week. I heard Ben Shapiro went down like a lead balloon.
Yep,
and
he did.
He deflected questions about the USS Liberty, saying it was all a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen articles saying that the divide now between the America First and Israel First groups is palpable and threatened. And Charlie's no longer there as the glue to hold it all together.
It's an acrimonious split. Oh, by the way, last comment, you guys. Climate change is an existential threat, and vaccines work. Only listen to trusted sources like the BBC. Listen, you guys have done so well for us tonight on the YouTube algorithm. Thank you. We're going to do this again. In fact, we'll be doing this repeatedly at intervals to try to help our placement on this on YouTube. Thank you, everybody. I mean, I think that worked really well, guys. What do you think?
For sure.
Yeah,
we gotta take what we can get, right?
That was fun.
I figure I'm waiting for the sponsorship opportunities to roll in now. I mean,
that's right.
Thank you, guys.
Maybe we can sell like disposable razors or I don't know, shampoo.
Oh my God. There's one more. I saw one in here that says I hate privacy.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Privacy sucks, man.
If you've got nothing to hide, then why should you be afraid of total surveillance?
Absolutely. Yes. Right. Okay. Look, you guys, we got to wrap it up. But I want to say a big thank you to everybody who's tuned in. Hesher, Ruckus, Basil, quick final thoughts. We're going to wrap this up quickly. But Hesher, go ahead.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. It was a blast. Thanks, everybody, for the wonderful comments. I laughed. I cried. It was a good time. Watch The Boiler Room. You can find us at alternatecurrentradio.com. You can find us on Rumble. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on X and all the places. So check us out. Thanks, man.
alternatecurrentradio.com, source of great knowledge and controversial opinions not allowed on the YouTube algorithm. Ruckus, go ahead.
I'll second that. We got all that going over there at Alternate Current Radio, so make sure you check it out. Just want to remind everyone, obviously, it is the Christmas season, and there's a lot of bad news and things happening in the world. And a strange phenomenon that I notice is that usually around this time of year, people kind of chill out a little bit. Usually there is a little bit of a spirit of love going on. I am a Christian, and I do, of course, have my own opinions about what Christmas is. Maybe it's a pagan celebration. All of that doesn't matter, because usually, generally speaking, around this time of year, people are generally nicer to each other, and I'm sadly seeing a lack of that this year. So I hope everybody in the final moments pulls their head out of their butts and starts treating each other nice again for the Christmas spirit. And in that vein, I will quote, he was a late 19th century, early 20th century essayist by the name of Hamilton Wright Mabie, who is quoted as saying, quote, "Blessed is the season which engages the whole world in a conspiracy of love." Let's focus on that this Christmas season.
That's right. And that conspiracy of love particularly applies to Israel, who wouldn't dream of killing anyone over the Christmas period, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. They have deep respect for Christians, particularly in Gaza and the West Bank. So let's bear that in mind. As for myself, I'm incurring now with, thanks to Patrick, a degree of regularity on the UK column, and I hope that continues into the new year. And I made my debut this week on Palestine Declassified. So I'm moving
nice.
up the food chain, so to speak. And you can find that latest episode hosted by Chris Williamson and also featuring David Miller online at the moment. And it focuses on, amongst other things, the plight of the hunger strikers and the current state of affairs in Gaza.
Yeah, thank you for bringing attention to that important story, especially over the holiday seasons. It's not something that gets enough coverage. We'll bring them up on screen right now, just so not all of these are current hunger strikers. Some have left the hunger strike, but especially those the first three there, and also Kamran Ahmed and Heba Marisi as well. But thank you for mentioning that, Basil. Very important story. Hope keep them in your prayers over Christmas. I know it's going to hurt the YouTube algorithm right there, but
yeah,
we got a W there for about 30 minutes, so that was good. But Mr. Valentine, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great to see you, and keep up the great work, everybody. Our esteemed panel of experts and media troublemakers, rogue actors, and again, just let me see that Christmas tree, the redacted Christmas tree that Ruckus and Hesher are completely showing off at the moment, gratuitously, because that is just art right there, folks. That is beautiful. That's what it's all about this Christmas. That is the themed winner of the season. Best of show. Best of show. That's great counter propaganda. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ruckus. Thank you, Hesher. Thank you to everybody at the Boiler Room and Alternate Current Radio and at 21st Century Wires, comment threads and streams as well. Thank you for joining us. That is it, folks. That is the show. That's all we've got time for this week. Again, this is episode 574 of the Sunday Wire. And do check us out and think about supporting us for the winter fundraising drive. Just go to 21st Century Wire, hit the donate button, and it'll give you some options there. Obviously, we'd like you to subscribe to 21wire.tv as a regular subscriber, as a regular member. That would be amazing. We've got a lot of work to do. This is going to help it make it happen for us in 2026. This will help to plug the gaps and help us to fund and do the various upgrades and expansive operations that we need to do. So please support us for this winter fundraising drive, 2025, 2026. We need your help, folks. If you like what we do and you want us to see more of it and you want to support us, please find it within your heart to do so this Christmas season. We really appreciate it. And those of you who have, we'll read some names off next week, but we're not going to have a Christmas episode because it's midweek, but we'll see you next Sunday. We'll have something impactful for you over Sunday, and hope you're going to join us then. We'll see you all, guys, and we'll have the team back as well during that period. So for your host, Patrick Henningsen, that's all we've got time for today. It's been great to see you guys, and we shall see you when we see you. Take care. All the best. Merry Christmas. And yeah, we'll get to you before the new year, though. We'll get to you before the new year. See you next week.
Y no podría ser la excepción. El partido, fuerza, fuerza. Fuerza, fuerza. Se vive hoy. Se vive esta manifestación desde el corazón y las entrañas de un pueblo. Por eso hoy queremos recibir a ese líder, a ese caballero. You are the revolution that you've been waiting for. You are the revolution that you've been waiting for. You are the revolution that you've been waiting for. You are the revolution. You are the revolution. You are the revolution. You are the revolution. That you've been waiting for. You are the revolution. You are the revolution. You are the revolution. That you've been waiting for. You are the revolution. 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 and strong, because you are the revolution.
You are the revolution. You are the revolution. You are the revolution. You are the revolution
that you've been waiting for.
You are the revolution. You are the revolution. You are the revolution.
They conspire against you, accuse you of terrorism, to steal your sovereignty. Hold fast, watch it collapse. I know that we still have the power. You are the revolution. They want to centralize, monopolize, control your thoughts. Breathe, go deep, go outside, put seeds in the ground. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are the revolution that you've been waiting for. You are the revolution that you've been waiting for. Alone. You are the revolution that you've been waiting for.
You are the revolution.
You are not alone. That you've been waiting for.
Oh, hi. Is this a train to the revolution?
Why, yes, my lady. And you're right on time.